What's going on, YT? It is your girl, Leah Ray, and you are tuned into The Leah Ray Show. So, I wanted to come on here and share my pregnancy story with you guys because it is completely 100% a big deal to me. But yeah, thinking back to when I was younger, I never really could conceptualize the idea of getting pregnant because I was a child. And I know some girls maybe grow up and think, I'm going to have kids and I want to have a family and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? I couldn't really see that far ahead when I was younger. And I just knew growing up that I wanted to create the best possible odds for myself. Like, first of all, let's go to high school, let's finish high school, let's go to college, let's get a job in my field, let me get a house, let me get a car, or let me get a car, let me get a house, let me get a husband. And then let's see about having kids. So there was an order that I wanted to go through in my life. So I never really could fathom. Even when I got older, I still couldn't fathom having kids because, you go through relationships, boyfriends and things like that. And sometimes you could say, okay, yeah, I might want to be with this person. But probably more times than not, if you really think about it, you're like, okay, this is probably just something that's just going to be happening right now. We could see where it goes. Maybe it will grow into something. Possibly, more than likely, it won't. So I never really had felt that I wanted to have kids until I married my husband. One thing I liked about my marriage is that we did not have kids right away. We stayed married. We got married in 2013 and Khaleesi was born in 2017. So we waited a good amount of time before we had kids, and it allowed us time to get to know each other, to grow, to get a house, to get stable, get to where we wanted to get to in our careers and things like that. Let me tell you, getting pregnant was not easy. It took me 18 months to get pregnant. The main issue was the cycle issue. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get my cycle regulated so that you can kind of figure out when you're ovulating and things like that. But it was hard, and my husband, I know he had he didn't completely lose hope, but you could tell at times he was discouraged. I used to tell my husband, just stay positive because I'm going to get pregnant, because I knew that I was going to get pregnant, even though it was late in my age, mid-30s to late 30s, the doctors be looking at you like, it's about that time. But see, the doctor couldn't tell me nothing. First of all, my doctor is 100% positive. Love that guy, Dr. Nichols over at Flowers Hospital, Women's Healthcare of Dothan. You need to go see him. He is thebomb.com. But I just knew that I was going to get pregnant. And I knew I was going to get pregnant at the right time because when it comes to that, I was a slow developer. Okay, maybe people know that they want to have kids when they're 25. They want to get married when they're 25 and things like that. They go ahead and they get married because that's the most important thing to them. And they start that family and, power to the people. But that was not me. I really had to wrap my mind around having kids because I kind of liked it just being me. I kind of liked being able to move when I wanted to move. So being married for 3 years, being with my husband for 5, we just got up and went when we got ready. So that is a lifestyle. So I had to really think about, okay, this is about to change. I'm glad that I didn't get pregnant right away because that 18 months, it allowed that information time to settle in my brain. So we got pregnant and it was a huge deal in my brain. And how I found out, it was spring break. And this is not exactly when I found out, but it was spring break and we decided to go hang out with the BFF and her boyfriend in Huntsville. So we went out there to Huntsville and everything was going good. And then I got sick. I got so sick, it was ridiculous. And I was like, dang, we were meeting my BFF's boyfriend's best friend for the first time, and he was bringing his girlfriend and things like that, and everybody was having a good time and chilling, and I was just not speaking to anybody. I was so sick. I didn't know I was pregnant. I was so freaking sick. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't even almost talk. I felt like I couldn't breathe. That spring break trip for me was just completely ruined, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. So we came back home, and I was contemplating, should I go to the ER? Should I go to the ER? Now I'm just wait it out, because I thought I was having like a bad acid reflux situation. So then it was time for my husband to go to Montgomery for his work conference, and I wanted to go with him because I never go to any of those things. So he was like, yeah, come, whatever. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go even though I'm not feeling good, because it's in Montgomery, it's in Alabama. If I need to go to the hospital, I just go to the hospital there. It's still in Alabama. So we went, and for the whole day when he was out doing the workshops and things like that, I was staying in the bed. And I was not feeling good, but he would come back or come get me for lunch, or we'd go have something to eat, and I couldn't really eat. I was just struggling. We came home from the conference. We spent the whole conference like that, but then we came home, and I think I wound up going to the ER, because I was telling them I could not breathe. And, you know, when you get to the ER, I think they run an EKG and all this kind of stuff. And they were like, nothing's wrong with you. Like, they didn't say it to me like that, because if they had said it to me like that, I would have got to snapping. Something is wrong with me. You just don't know what it is, and you can't find it. But I didn't know what was wrong with me. And at those moments, I never thought, like, maybe I'm pregnant. I never thought. So anyway, they sent me home from the ER. And between that time and the next time, because I went back to the ER because I thought something was wrong, even after I found out I was pregnant. But anyway, I said, I came back home. I was like, let me take a pregnancy test. So I took a pregnancy test, and it was positive. So I was like, let me take another pregnancy test. Took another pregnancy test. It was positive. I was like, these Dollar Tree pregnancy tests, maybe they ain't official. But I accepted that information, and I told my husband, and we were very happy. And so I called the doctor, and I was like, look, I took a pregnancy test, came back positive. They were like, okay, you got to come in the office, and we got to do a pregnancy test in the office to verify pregnancy. So we did that, and it was official. Your girl is pregnant. And I was gassed. So when you get pregnant, they don't want you to tell anybody till 3 months, because a lot can happen in 3 months. Heck, anything can happen throughout your whole pregnancy, but you know, it was kind of shaky around that time. And I was older. I'm not old. I was older. Do I look 35? No, boo. Get your life. Now, mind you, I already knew my due date. My due date was November 28th, 2017. Had my due date. I had all this information. I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom, call my dad, you know, what. Even had it planned down to the way I was gonna tell, because we had went in the backyard and we had did some pregnancy announcement photos. And amidst all that, I get a phone call from my brother. He was like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I gotta tell you something. My girlfriend's pregnant. He was like, yeah, she's due November 28th. In my mind, I was like, I know he did not just say November 28th. I ain't gonna front. Like, when you get pregnant, you just want to be pregnant by yourself, okay? It was 35 years in the making of the Leah pregnancy, okay? And then here comes my brother talking about his girlfriend is pregnant. She's due the same day. That was just, I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. Okay? That's real talk. Like, you happy, but then you upset because you're like, dang, now we're gonna have a brother and a sister pregnant at the same time. My mother's in New Jersey. My family's in New Jersey, because I already had it in my head that my mom, my dad, and everybody was gonna come down here. But now I'm like, dang, my brother's and his girlfriend's pregnant. Like, is my mom gonna come? Like, is my dad gonna come? Like, what's gonna happen? So I was dealing with that, but eventually, you know, I settled down because I'm a high-strung person, okay? So eventually I settled down and I was like, everything will be all right. Finally, I can get on to planning the gender reveal party and worrying about the baby shower. Now, the gender reveal was fine because I was doing the gender reveal party by myself. The decor came out beautiful, and I bought all the decor. Huh? Yeah. Girl, you know your fellow Tony is crazy. Tony and I were together the other day. She doesn't show me a picture. Girl, back there with me. Oh, But my friend Loretta and my BFF Reva, they set it all up. I was banking for a boy. The whole time I was like, I want a boy, I want a boy, I want a boy. I want a boy. I even had my husband saying teen boy, like we was going to have a boy. That was it. That was it. When he kicked that football, that gender reveal football, and that pink came out, the baby shower. The baby shower was its own thing in itself because I wasn't planning a baby shower. I actually had a committee full of people. And at first it was stressing me out because I almost didn't know if the baby shower was going to happen because I'm like, wow, you know, I'm all the way down here in Alabama and my family's all the way up there in Jersey. And, you know, your family's usually the people who throw these things for your family and your friends. And I don't have a lot of friends down here, but I was like, dang, maybe I can come up with a committee of people. So I definitely came up with a committee of people and they all came together and they planned my baby shower, and my baby shower was beautiful. Now, that was the third baby shower I had out of 4, because the first baby shower we had was the band department, the band. My husband is a band director, so the band threw us a baby shower. Then my job threw me a baby shower. Then my friends and family, the baby shower, they threw that baby shower. And then my husband's job, separate from the band, threw us a baby shower. So we had 4 baby showers. But the reason why we had 4 baby showers is because of my attitude. And I'm going to take credit for it. I'm going to take credit for everything because throughout my entire pregnancy, and this is the most important thing about being pregnant, was my attitude. You have to remain positive. I didn't have time to be stressed out, worrying about what this person is doing with that person. Hold on. I didn't even have time to be stressing about who was going to throw my baby shower. And the reason why I was so worried about the baby shower is because I don't have anything. I never had any kids. We don't have anything. We need stuff. And from what I understand, it's expensive to have children. Not necessarily a baby, but if you want to get everything that you need or think you need for the baby in the beginning, it costs money. We ain't got that money. We ain't got no money just to be... My attitude. My attitude is the reason why everything happened the way it did. Everything. Because let me tell you something, I was faced with some serious negativity during my pregnancy. And you have, and those of you who have been pregnant, you've probably been faced with the same negativity, but it's all about how you handle it. You have to have it in your mind that you're going to have a stress-free, beautiful pregnancy. And although my pregnancy wasn't that beautiful because I was sick, it said morning sickness. That's what they call it, morning sickness. So I was all day sickness. And I didn't even know that morning sickness was just a term they use, but you could have it in the morning, you could have it at night, you could have it all day, you could have it 24/7. That was me. That was that 24/7. I was sick all the time. And then, like, I lost my appetite. I was always under the assumption that when people get pregnant, they just want to eat, and everything. No, I became a very, very picky eater. Vegetables were off the table. Vegetables were done, son, because my husband was trying to make some kale one day in the house, and I was like, I came from the back, this room right here, and went all the way up to the kitchen and was like, what are you cooking? Because that smells gross. Like, don't even bring that in the house anymore. Like, I mean, I just couldn't. It's just the smells. The smells really get to you. And the only, I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's nothing but God. For the reason I did not gain a pound. God is the reason why I did not gain a pound during my pregnancy, because I promise you, I lived off pizza and cheeseburgers. That's the only thing I would eat. I didn't like chicken. When I smelled chicken, I was just like, I don't want no freaking yard bird. Like, gross. I don't want that. And when I smelled chicken, I just felt like I could almost see the chicken alive on my plate. Like, that's how intense it was. And I loved fruit through my pregnancy. Oh my gosh, I OD'd on fruit, which was a good thing because I wasn't rocking with them vegetables. Every once in a while, I would have a salad, but you talking about cooked vegetables, gross. And it's crazy because I used to eat kale all the time. I used to eat broccoli and string beans cooked all the time. But when I got pregnant, it was a wrap. So, yeah, I became a very, very picky eater. I wasn't even into sweets like that, but I would kill some plain potato chips because it seemed to settle my stomach. So I was on them plain potato chips. I was on that ginger ale. When I couldn't get to that ginger ale, I was on that Sprite, which was weird because I didn't even drink soda before I got pregnant. And pizza and cheeseburgers. But another thing that I did while I was pregnant was I stayed active. Okay. Now, was I in there squatting 250 pounds like I was before? No, I was not doing that. But was I taking walks? Yes. Was I going to the gym and doing light work? Yes. When I could, did I do Zumba? Yes. So I stayed active throughout my whole pregnancy. And I remember looking at my doctor's face when I wasn't gaining any weight. And I was just telling him, like, well, I take walks, I exercise when I can, I lift lightweight when I can, I go to Zumba, and I'm not overeating. That's another thing. I didn't ever gorge myself through my pregnancy because I could only eat a little bit anyway. It was like it was no room in my stomach. Once that belly started getting big, it was no room in there. So I would take a few bites of something and I would be done. So I wasn't overeating. I was probably getting enough calories, and sometimes I was under eating because I would get sick. Because let me tell you something, the baby is going to get the nutrients that the baby needs, and you're going to be the one to get sick, not the baby. So she was pulling nutrients from every source that she could pull them from, even though I wasn't eating like a lot of food. So that was crazy about my pregnancy. Let me get back to this positive attitude. So I had a positive attitude, and I knew that it was good for me to remain stress-free. I knew that it was good for me that even though I was just living off pizza and cheeseburgers, to still try to drink a lot of fluids. And still, now, in a day, I would probably drink about 64 ounces of fluids. That's not a lot because I would like to be closer to the gallon range. But according to my phone nurse, she said that was good. And it didn't have to be all water. So I was really on like the ginger ale and the cranberry juice, apple juice, and water. That's how I was getting my liquid. So I knew that I needed to stay hydrated, and I knew that I needed to remain calm because, like I said before, I'm a high-strung person. So I had to really get in my mind, don't let nothing bother you. Don't let these people at work bother you. Don't let these people in your social life bother you. Don't let any drama that may be going on with family bother you. Like, don't. And I'm not going to say it was like 100% of the time, I was just like not letting anything bother me. But 99.9% of the time, your girl was stress-free. And let me tell you why I had to be stress-free, because I'm talking about negativity. I had people tell me that, number one, I was going to get fat. I was going to gain. And you probably thinking like, no, they really didn't say that to you. Yes, boo. They did say that to me. So just sit back and relax. I was going to blow up in my third trimester. And the reason why I got that comment was because everybody that was around me was saying, oh my gosh, you look so good. Like, I can't even, like, from the back, I can't even tell that you're pregnant. Like, I wasn't showing until I was 6 months into my pregnancy. People would see me, they were like, oh my gosh, you don't even look pregnant. Oh my God, you just look so good. Oh my God, from the back, I can't even tell that you're pregnant. You're just all stomach. You just haven't gained a pound. And I had a hater that was like, oh, that's going to change in the third trimester. You're going to blow up and you're going to have all of this and all of that. So, okay, so you telling me I'm going to get fat? Okay. In my mind, I was like, okay, watch this, boo. Watch what I do for you. When you're pregnant, you have to go in and you have to get your blood pressure checked every time. Well, I went into the doctor's office and I got my blood pressure checked and I had a high reading. It was very high. It was like 140 something over whatever. And the doctor was like, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to admit you to the hospital and we're going to have to monitor your blood pressure for the next few hours. So as I'm walking out, the nurse that's been rocking with me since day one at that doctor's office was like, you're going to have that baby. What you mean? In my mind, this is not a good thing. This is not close to my due date. Having a high blood pressure reading is not a good thing. So I'm like, no, I'm not. She was like, yes, you are, because that happened to me. I had a high blood pressure reading and I went to the hospital and had to do an emergency C-section. So you probably not coming home. Why it had to be the black nurse? I was like, that's so negative. And my husband was there with me. Now, mind you, I had been telling my husband, now this is the last thing that happened. I jumped out of order, but this is the last thing that happened. I had been telling my husband about all this negativity I had been receiving during my pregnancy. He would listen. He'd just be like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But when he was there and he heard that nurse say that to me, he was like, why would she say that? Like, that's not a good thing to say. It's not good if you have to have an emergency C-section. It's not good if you can't go home today because your due date, this is not your due date. So I was like, this is what I'm telling you. That's why you got to to be positive. So I was just like, don't say that. That isn't bad. Like, that's how I was talking to her. But I was really mad. Another thing that happened is I was at my friend's baby shower, and I was sitting at the table. Two of the women I knew, one I didn't know. But she's a colleague of mine still, and I don't know her like that, but I think I've seen her before. But anyway, we were having a good conversation, and my friend to my left was asking me about, what was she asking me about? She was asking me about something, and I was telling her how I had been taking these classes. I took intro to parenting. I took intro to child safety. I took intro to birth. Anything that was pretty much free that I could take at my hospital, I took. And then I went over to the other hospital and I took Lamaze. Now, Lamaze cost $35 and it was a 4-week class, once a week. But I went and took Lamaze because I wanted to learn relaxation techniques, because I had already decided once I had got pregnant that I was going to have a 100% natural birth. I wasn't going to have any pain medicines. I wasn't going to take any pain medicines, have any of my IV. I wasn't going to have an epidural or anything like that. So I knew that I needed to get my mind right for labor and birth. So I wanted to take Lamaze. So I was telling her about all these classes I took. And then here go Negative Nancy across the table talking about, oh, well, you're going to forget all that once you get in labor. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not, because I'm going to be cool, calm, and collected. And I'm going to remember everything. She was like, you say that now. You say that now. I said, yeah, I'm going to say that now because we going to keep it positive. And she was like, you can keep it positive, but I'm just saying you're going to forget. Okay, I'm done talking to you. Like, what's with these women always want to tell you something negative? They always want to make their struggle your struggle. Like, I don't understand that. Anyway, like, that was what I was going through during my pregnancy. Now, let's get to the baby shower. Let's get back to the baby shower, because baby shower almost stressed me out for another reason. Now, don't call me the day of my baby shower and ask me, how do you get in the building, where exactly it is, and tell me you're on your way, and then don't even show up. Then when I hit you up and ask you why you didn't show up, you ignore me. So I hit you up again, and you read the message, but then you ignore me, but you're supposed to be my friend. Okay. And then I see you in the store after I done had my baby, and you like, oh, you had your baby. I want to come see the baby. Miss me with that. We ain't friends. Then don't be on the baby shower planning committee and then you're supposed to be my friend. Like, I be with you, I be by your house, you be by my house, and then are no call, no show to my baby shower. I ain't talking about friends like associates. I'm talking about you in my inner circle. How you don't show up to your friend's baby shower, and then after the baby shower you don't even tell them why? Okay, I have to go and I have to hunt you down and ask you why, then you give me some bogus excuse. Okay. So I almost allowed that kind of stuff to stress me out. See, and that's what I was talking about this pregnancy being a huge deal. Like, if you were my friend, which these people were, you know that we were trying to get pregnant for a long time. So to get pregnant, to be having a baby at 35, it's a big deal. So how you not going to show up to the celebration? Then I had several guys that I thought were my friends. I had several guys talk about, oh, I'm not coming to the baby shower because that's for girls. What are we, in kindergarten? Maybe it's a Southern thing. I'm not Southern. You know I'm not Southern. You know I'm from Jersey. Like, we don't rock like that. November 28th rolls around and nothing. I'm not dilated. My cervix isn't even soft. So the doctor was like, okay, we're going to let you go another week. I'm like, yes, I love my doctor. Let me say that again, because he ain't in no rush. He knows that I want to have a natural birth. He knows that I want to go into labor on my own. He knows that I don't want to be induced. He knows that cesarean is the very last thing. He knows all of this. So when he was like, let's let you go another week, let's see if anything happens, and then we'll go from there. So he let me go another week and nothing happened. So what did we do? He scheduled me to go into the hospital on December the 3rd, at which time he was going to give me Cervidil to soften my cervix, and then the next day he was going to start the Pitocin to induce me. I wound up having to be induced. So anyway, that's my pregnancy story in a nutshell. It's a lot more details to that, but if you have any questions about pregnancy or being pregnant, look, I got one baby under my belt, okay? I know some things now. I know some things that I didn't know before. So just leave your comments in the box below and I will answer your comments. But stay tuned for the rest of my pregnancy series is coming up. Next video in this series will be my labor story. And you're going to definitely want to tune in for that. But anyway, people, I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Leah Rae Show, my pregnancy story. And until next time, people, it is your girl, Leah Rae, on the Leah Rae Show. Peace. Let's see if this helps with the lighting situation. Situation. I don't really like that. All that light on my cheeks like that. Maybe if I turn. Nope. Nope. Maybe if I step back. I don't know. I need like shade right there. Shade. Yeah, I'm so washed out. But if I turn to the other side. Hold on.